Okay, so what I'm going to do today is go over a quick overview of what the course entails and kind of outlines where you need to go and look at things. So when you come in, it should take you to the announcements page, and the first one is going to be kind of the welcome to the Business Analytics one, a little bit about myself, and kind of the course calendar as of today. It might change throughout the semester, so be sure to pay attention to the announcements for updates if there is going to be any changes on whether we go from a project to maybe a homework or vice versa. Now, really the first thing you need to do in a course is do this action required, which is going to tell the school that you're actually going to be taking the course, and they can record it as far as you are going to be in there. The next thing, you can go down to the welcome and overview. Again, it gives a little bit more detail about things we're going to do in the course. Kind of they're using Blackboard, kind of the course information, course content, communication support resources. Gives course description, learning outcomes, some course learning cycle, how to learn the best if we kind of follow this cycle. Code of conduct, etiquette rules, and some privacy policies. And then we can go, and then of course the announcements, and then syllabus. We can click in there, and you can click on that, and that'll take you to the syllabus for this class. And any important dates set by the university are going to be within here, and it'll have a calendar, and it'll tell you the specifics. Course documents, that's just going to be something for one of the first assignments. It's a piece of graph paper you have to download and do something on, so that's where you find that. Faculty information, a little bit more about myself, where I'm at. I'm in Casper, Wyoming. Gives my cell number, my university email, times I'm on, and best ways to contact me and everything like that. Moving on, course content, that's kind of going to be the big thing, course content and communication. So first, we're using MindTap, which is adaptive learning technology, and within that you have your e-text as well as your homework assignments, quizzes, and exams. So once you click that, the top thing here is going to be where you get into entering MindTap. And so if we click that, it'll take us over to that. Now the first time you do this is when you're going to have to pay for the access to get into MindTap and do that. So I think if you click on it, you can do a 2-week free access, and then after that you actually have to pay for it, and the 2 weeks starts when I open the class. So even though it's a week before the semester starts, I think that's when actually we'll start counting for that 2 weeks. So here it takes you to the view, and it takes you to this view here, which is not a good one. I think the unit view is the best one because it is actually how the course is set up. And so it has kind of a getting started video, some course materials you might need, and then it goes into the chapter, so you can click on the chapter and read the different sections of the book. Another way you can read the book is, if you don't want to read it this way, there's going to be the full book over here, so you can actually click on the full book, and takes a while usually to load that, but it'll load, and then you can choose what chapter you want and do things like that. Key thing here is when you do this is where you're going to find the tables. So this will give you all the chapters. Then towards the bottom, the tables, that's where a lot of people are going to need to have access to, because that'll be some of the different things that are actually in the hard text that aren't in the information over here in just the chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on, but it's these tables that you'll need, and so you can scroll through and look at those, and then even print them off if you want to. Alright, so closing that back up. So that's kind of 2 ways you can read the book. Then you can do your homework assignments. So kind of going here to show you what that is. This will be the homework for week 2, so it'll be the first homework assignment. And I suggest doing the homework first and then doing the quizzes second. So that's kind of the best way I think about doing this, because the homework is kind of going to get you in the mindset of how problems are done, and then you can actually do the quizzes after that. Alright, so after you say start assignment, it'll pop them up and it'll give you all these assignments. And the first chapter is pretty easy. It's not a lot of calculations, and so this is kind of the format you're going to see. You're going to be able to choose categorical. You can type numbers in, percentages, and choose that. Then you just go to the next one. And again, it's going to be the same type of thing. It's pretty simple. It does get harder than this as the semester goes, but the first few are pretty easy. Now this is key here. So when you're reading this, it says the following table shows the data set containing the information for 25 of the shadow stocks and so on. And so then it shows you the table. Now I want you to do calculations with this table, but that's going to be difficult because you're going to have to type all these in. Well, it should then, after that, on the ones where there's tables, it should say click on the data file logo to reference the data. And if you click on that, what it should do is it should open up a Microsoft Excel page, and with that you should actually be able to have the data there and do any calculations it asks for. So it's going to ask you for how many variables are there, percentages, the frequency, and so you can use this actual spreadsheet to get all that information. Now we'll see here. And a key thing is when you get this, open it and make sure the data here matches the data in the table below in the actual Cengage MindTap. Sometimes the tables don't match, and I'm not sure why. Sometimes the tables will be missing, and so it's a key. If the table is missing or if the table has the wrong data, please contact me as soon as possible, and then we'll try to get that fixed, and I'll try to get you the correct table. All right, so that's kind of a key thing with the data files and the tables and stuff like that, and then the rest are just going to be similar. All right, so that's going to be homework. Quiz will be the same thing. Then we just work our way through. Now, once it's time for our test, we've got this Module 1 practice test. And what it is it's a practice test for the Module 1 actual test. And if you do this, it really behooves you because it has basically the test itself, but with different numbers and things. So you can practice a testing environment, and so when you actually take the test, you're ready to do it and you understand the stuff. So after you take it, really study the material that you missed. And so maybe you understood all of chapter 1 and chapter 3, but chapter 2 you really had struggles with. And so you can go in and read up on chapter 2 again, do more assignments in there or whatever you need to do, and then you should be ready for that test once you've done the extra studying. And then it just continues on all the way clear to the final, and that final again has a practice final exam, and so it should be another good way to study for all of the exams with the practices. All right. Of course, if you ever need any technical support from Cengage itself, you can click there. If there's something I can help you with, please let me know. Then after that, really the start here is what you're going to do that very first week. And I probably am going to rearrange that and put that above the MindTap because that's what's going to happen. And then once it's done, then I'll probably hide that. But with this week 1, due by midnight on Friday, basically need to do the course tour readings. So that's what this is. Register for MindTap, and so you'll have to click that link to register. Community of learners, that's going to be down below here. Then you're going to have email your instructor, submit an assignment, and then what I need to know about you, which is a journal. And so you can go through all this, and it's all pretty much laid out here. And so once you submit your assignment, that's kind of one of the things. You get that graph paper and you write on it, and then you submit it here. So you just click on here and you submit your PDF, and that kind of shows you how assignments such as the projects are going to be submitted. And so that's going to be a key thing. Now the journal doesn't show up here, but what I need to know about your journal, what you do is you can go over here to this private journal and click in there, and that will take you to the journals. And so that's going to be the first one, and each week there's going to be more and more open, and you just have to click on the one for that week and fill it out, and then you can do your journal entry. Okay. Once the week starts, now because the week 1, if you finish with all the start here material, then you're going to be able to go into this data and statistics, and I have it opening on the 23rd, I think. So it's going to give you like 3 days to do that. Start here, and then it's going to open up the actual week 2 material. So it'll start a little earlier, and then you can start working on the material there. Learning modules, if you click in there, all the learning modules will be here. So module 1 opens up first, and once the dates are there, you'll start seeing, week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. And then after we get further, then all of a sudden module 2 will open, and then module 3 will open. So we'll have all the modules. Now the discussion board, you have to ask your professor, the homework help, and the student lounge. Student lounge is part of the first start here. You need to go in there and kind of let your classmates and myself know who you are. If you go in there right now, you can see information about myself, and so you can click on that, and it'll give you a little spiel about myself. And then after that, you can do your own spiel about yourself. You just have to create a thread and put your name in it and then talk about yourself in there. Then the other two, those are kind of to get homework help. Now if you really want help and you want it pretty quick, ask me via email. Send it to me via email. Don't ever type anything in here about projects or assignments that are with specific values that are specific to you, because you don't want to share your work with other people, because then that's going to be starting a plagiarism issue. And so if it's something general, you can ask me in here or you can email me. But if it's really something specific to you or your assignment that you're working on, please email me. That way it doesn't get out to see. Everybody sees what you're posting and they can do their assignments really quick that way. So it's here, and you can ask other students for help. Hey, how are you working on the descriptive statistics for this chapter? Talk about it that way, and they can help you, or I can chime in as well. All right, so that's the discussion boards of private journals we've talked about. Really sending email and tools of communication, that's kind of all these different things in here. We don't really need all of them, but they're there. Sending the email is going to be a key one. What you'll want to do is you want to use selected user, and you'll want to email me directly. And so the best way to do it is go in here and you'll select myself, and I don't know, since I'm the it'll have it in there, and then you just click on that, and then you can send me a thing, and this way I know which class you're in, and you don't have to type all this other information. Because if you send me an email just directly from our email addresses, then it would be great if you could type, we're in a Business Analytics 1 section 4, and that way I know which class you're in, so I can actually see it. All right, so then let's see. Now to check your grades and all that stuff, you're just gonna have to kind of click on that. It won't show anything for me because I'm not a student. Some tutorials and Blackboard help. All these are kind of just support things that are for you. The library, again, more netiquette. Survival guide. This is where you're gonna go do some of the stuff for the start here, then the tutoring assistance and Blackboard help, and then this is where I see the grade center, so that's where I'm going to be inputting grades. So I think that's pretty much the course as a whole, really quick. So hopefully that will help you, and if you have any questions at any time during that start week, please let me know. Thank you.